Well on that boat staring at us, man. The polar bear was staring at us. Yeah,
About the same side.
man. Right, right. All right, so Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. We also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, we out of GMS Mississippi Camp, out here at the lake location, all right, in front of the Mayam, in front of the waters, you know, and we're just going to go into some scriptures through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, not our spirit, how the earth is an actual spirit. It's a living entity, all right, designed to feed not only the Israelites, but ultimately the inhabitants of the earth. And there's a scripture, and we're going to get it through the spirit in Revelation where it says, I will destroy him who destroyed the earth. I believe it's Revelation 18, you know, 11. So in order to destroy something, that means it had to be living. To destroy it, you could destroy a plant. You could destroy a habitation because it was living. Yeah, but Bakasha.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So look, man, we was talking about earlier the grocery stores. This man charging, he putting everything on. He labeling everything organic. He labeled things superfood just to charge you 3 times the amount. You know, things it has the same strength as berries. Like for example, goji berries pretty much has a similar strength than blueberries, but goji berry costs 3,000, three times more. It is not that it's not special, but once you go into an environment like a so-called Asian market, then it's like a normal price. You see what I'm saying? And he did that with say avocados. They call something organic because for one, it's not labeled, it's not laden with pesticides, right? But food like avocado doesn't have pesticides.
Right.
Then it's under appeal. So why does he call it organic? The charge your ass twice as much, 3 times the amount. Then but go to the islands and taste their avocados. So even the stuff they call organic is trash compared to the parts of the world that's not as polluted. Coconut? Come on, man. I found out by a Benjamite that an orange ain't supposed to be actual orange. It's like a speckled yellow on the islands, man. You destroying the earth, man. And now we all fucked up and shit. You know, but we're going to get the scriptures because when it says destroy the earth is really something that Yahweh Bashim Shai created for the elects, man. For the nation of Israel. You got it.
It's Isaiah 24:4 in the NLT. The earth mourns and dries up.
Whoa. That's personification. That's not a fucking metaphor. The earth is actually mourning. Then you said it dries up, right? Well, you just broke down how oil is a lubricant. So you got lakes that's drying up, ponds that's drying up, rivers that's drying up.
Euphrates.
But, say it again.
The Euphrates.
The Euphrates is drying up. But then you got the oil is being extracted so much it's drying up, man. Because what is the oil? It's a lubricant. You see?
Yeah.
You know, but why is it a lubricant? Because it's a body. The earth is a body, man.
And to prove your point to the coin, and if the earth is not a spirit, then how is it mourning?
Right.
You know, people mourn because of, let's say if your grandmama died, you're gonna mourn. If you lose your dog, you're going to mourn. So if the earth is not a spirit, then how can the earth mourn?
How can the earth mourn?
That's an emotion.
Right. There you go.
Since the earth mourns and dries up, and the land wastes away and withers.
You got a plant that's dying, it starts to wilt.
Yeah.
The leaves start turning brown. It's sad. But look at the planet. Same way, man. The way you know your plant is healthy, it starts to blossom a flower depending on what type of plant it is.
Correct me from wrong, I know it's been a while now, but basically when we like looking at videos like a particular people, it may have been like Ammon, but they talk to their plants.
And the plants basically respond to them. Yeah. Then they unalived the plant in front of another plant. Yeah, it was a particular scientist amongst other scientists. And when that one scientist walked in the room, the plant that witnessed his fellow plant get unalived, his neurons start acting up. Like his nervous system started acting up, man. Because they had him attached to a machine. It's like he knew who unalived his buddy.
I'm saying this, and that's why water is so important to the earth. Because if you're not getting no water, like I cook grass, going shit for 20 some years, you don't get no water, the grass dies. So you get that water, come back green.
Right.
That's why water's so important. But Esau got the water fucked up too. Chemtrails in the air.
Fucking plastic bottles.
So whole thing, the word just fucked because of Esau.
Because of Esau, man. All right.
Yep, that's why it says right here in the KJV how the world languisheth and faded away. They're going to the inhabitants of the world as well. Now look at the state of the people right now. Everybody in a mournful state because you got the man of sin rulership, which is Esau Edom. So this vibration has really just caused the world to be irritable, a miserable state right now.
Weekend.
If you're on this planet, were you still speaking? If you're on this planet, by the time you're 30, you start dying. You know, your body starts to deteriorate prematurely. Between the ages, if you're an Israelite, between the ages of 30 and 50, that's when the high blood pressure kick in, the diabetes kick in. All right, these problems, you know, knee problems, joint problems. It's not because you're getting old. The earth can't support you because of who's running the earth. All right. Yep.
I just typed it in. Google is 2 parts. I'm gonna sum it up. It says the earth mourns and withers because of the humanity's systematic rejection to the Most High's boundaries. Going into Job 9 to 24, it says it teaches that the creation groans when society forsakes the Most High's statutes, replacing them with chaos and oppression.
Yep.
And when you drop down, it says the world is being ruled by the wicked. Ultimately, it is a theological framework. Esau Edom represents the flesh or the worldly kingdom that exalts itself above the divine order.
It straight up called them out.
It says the earth mourns under this dominion of such forces because of their ungodly leadership fosters injustice, chaos, pollution, and it will happen until the Most High's judgment finally intervenes and restores the righteous king and judgment.
That's a heavy hitter.
Right.
Unwise king destroyed his people.
Yep.
You know? So we said, even the greatest people on earth waste away. The earth suffers for the sins of his people, for they have twisted the Most High's instructions, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenant.
Yep, they violated his laws, man.
Yeah.
You know, which in turn destroyed the earth. You see? And then the rightful people who the earth was made for, they're not in rulership. So earth is not producing, man. But going back to what Captain Abai said, the earth has an emotion because it's mourning. So if a brother could if we're going to get proof through the spirit that the earth is actually a living spirit, a living entity, man, a living being, man.
Which one you want first?
You can get that circulatory system. Was that the one you was holding already? Schumann?
The Schumann, I got the circulatory system, I got the respiratory system, and I got the organ.
Well, got everything.
Let's get it, bro. We'll just start in the order that you said it.
Okay, this is the Schumann frequency here.
Hey, before we start, Salat, Wisdom of Solomon 12, please. 12 and 1.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1. For thy incorruptible spirit is in all things.
Thy incorruptible spirit is in all things. So the Most High he's quickened existence. So everything has his spirit in it, man. Everything has life in it. That's why in the ancient world, you could sit next to a tree and get empowered. There's a spirit and the energy of the tree, which is really the spirit and energy of Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai. Everything has its power in it, man.
Yeah, it's funny. Like people look at somebody, what they call them, you know, a tree hugger. You know what I'm saying? They look at them like a hippie, but they actually like raise your vibration.
It does, man.
You know,
it does. Okay, you got it.
To build onto that, I just looked at Psalm chapter 1 and verse 7. The Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice.
The spirit of the Most High, the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai, filleth the world. That's why you can get you become more vibrant or vigorous when you deep breathe exercise. When you deep breathe oxygen, all right, you do that for 20 minutes, you have more vigor. Because that's life. That's life. That's energy that Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai gave you. That's his energy, man. We're all breathing in Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai, what they would call or chi. All right. The scriptures call it the spirit. Science calls it energy. It's all the essence of Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai. All right, you got it, brother.
This is the first one going to the Schumann frequency.
Precept
It says
okay.
The Schumann frequency often which is often referred to as the Earth's heartbeat or the natural electromagnetic frequency, and was dropped straight down to
The Earth's heartbeat. So the Earth has a heartbeat, which means it has a pulse. You watch the sequel to the movie Avatar, The Way of the Waters, and the daughter, I think her name is Kiri, could be pronouncing it incorrectly, but she put an ear to the Earth. She said, I can hear it. And what was it that she could hear? The Earth's heartbeat, man. You know? Or the planet's heartbeat. You know?
Read this part here. It says the engine. It says lightning strikes around the globe. They happen around every 50, about 50 per second. It consistently feeds the energy into the atmospheric field to keep it going. Like when you're in the hospital and they give you that it clear, give you the pop. That's the lightning is the Lord's natural way of doing that for the earth in these times. And then it drop down. The last part of that, it says connection to humans. This exact frequency, which is 7.83 hertz, closely overlaps the human alpha and the theta brainwave patterns, which are the rhythms your brain produces during calm, light meditation, and relaxed states. Because of this, some wellness and grounding theories suggest that walking barefoot in contact with the earth can help people physically synchronize with this natural pulse to reduce stress and normalize sleep.
Yep. So there you go. Aligning yourself with the Earth's frequency, which is 7 point something hertz, man. 7.83 the water, but it has a pulse. All right, it's pulsating. It's like you feel someone's pulse. See if they're alive. All right, and you can get your quick precept because we're gonna stick to those articles. Then I got you 2 precepts.
The book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 4. How long shall the land mourn, and the herbs of every field wither, for the wickedness of them that dwell therein?
And ultimately, that land is the earth. You know, ultimately, and it's mourning. It has emotion. The earth is actually mourning, man. You know, is there it on that?
I mean, that's basically it.
Okay.
Yep. Going back to the earth, a living organism. This Baruch 4 and 8, it says, you have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and you have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, speaking of Jerusalem, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, the Most High have brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
Yep. When we had to depart from their land, but she had feelings. She expressed feelings.
Yeah. That's why the land's so fucked up over right now.
Yep.
Oh, especially over there, that spraying trees, whatever. So you know, it's so missing the people. People ain't there. That's why they catch pure hell over them, which is good for them.
Yep.
It's not fertile.
Yeah.
Like you always say, like she's not getting wet.
She ain't getting wet for you. You ain't it.
There's an actual theory that goes into the earth being a single. It's called the Gaia hypothesis, or the Gaia theory, which goes into how the earth is actually a living organism, which was developed in the 1970s by James Lovelock and Lynn, I can't pronounce her last name. It says it's basically, to sum it up, how the earth self-regulates. It has its own hemostasis, which goes into how it regulates itself with global temperature, atmosphere comparisons, and how it uses the ocean to cycle out that wind.
The circulatory system.
It said it lives through its own circulatory system and metabolism.
Wait, whoa. The planet Earth has its own circulatory system and metabolism. A heart rate, a circulatory system, a metabolism.
It has its own feedback loops of how it exchanges, it filters out the gases of carbon dioxide to produce oxygen, and warms and cools the planet when necessary.
But
body up and cools itself.
It's right. It self-regulates. All right, before you continue, go ahead, Priest Abayo.
Hey, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 10 and verse 9. For ask the earth, and she shall tell you.
Oh, I was waiting on. That was the hook, man.
That was the hook. You missed the hook, B.
Ask the earth, and she shall tell you. Yeah, I missed that one.
Hey, he just went back.
Ask the earth and she will tell you, man.
All right, 2nd Ezra 10 and 9.
The earth has a feminine characteristic, like
Mhm.
like to a mother, because what does a mother do? It nourishes you, you know. So then land brought forth all those herbs, all that those nutrients.
Mhm.
It took care of the livestock, So the earth, has to be maintained just like you would maintain a woman.
There you go.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
you have to keep her in an environment to where she can thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the Lord is getting
I
ready
gotta
to put
catch
these
up.
people back in power, because there's only one people on the planet Earth that was meant to run the earth. Because and one thing these captivity is showing us, there's only one way to run the earth,
Right.
and that's according to the law, statutes, and commandments. Anything outside of it, it's gonna be some defects somewhere, man.
Because the law, statutes, and commandments are spiritual.
Right.
The earth is spiritual.
Because you got to keep
beast-
those house rules.
That's right.
It's a lot.
A beast can't run the earth.
No, correct.
Beast use carnal protocol. We're gonna use a spiritual protocol for a spiritual being.
That's right.
You know.
I'm making an invention, and I created to tell you how to run it and how it's supposed to be
Yeah.
ran. And you be like, nah,
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
fuck that. I'm running how I want to run it.
Yeah. You gonna eventually ruin that machine.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna finish it off. Back in 2nd Ezra 10 and 9. For ask the earth, and she shall tell you that it is she which ought to mourn for the fall of so many that grow on her.
Yep. So hey, she will tell you, man.
2nd Ezra
All right.
chapter 10.
You got Captain Tazawal.
This Psalm 50, and I'm gonna do 16, 17. It said, but unto the wicked, Yahweh Bashar said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or what shall thou take a pillar in thy mouth? Verse 17, since thou hatest instruction, and cast my words behind thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't follow none of the Lord's
none of his law, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah. And especially the land Sabbath. This land Sabbath.
Right.
He don't give a fuck. He do what the fuck he want to do when he want to do it. All right.
Because what does Shabbat mean?
Rest. Mm-hmm.
So that's how you regulate the earth. That's how you manage the earth. It's like it's like a plant. You can't water a plant every day. You have to give it days where it's just absorbing the nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't take from the earth just all throughout the year.
Right.
All right, every year. Right. You got to have a land Sabbath so it can regenerate those minerals. Mm-hmm. You got it, bro.
This is Genesis 2. This is 11. And on the 7th day, the power in his work which he made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made.
He rested on the Shabbat, man. Yep. He rested on the 7th day. You see? But hey, and we building on that point. All right, the brother has something real quick before we go back to the articles. All right, we go back to the articles. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Halak. Priest Halak.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 46. That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
She crying, man.
Right.
And she hoping for the judgment. She's because you know who's gonna save the earth? Yahweh. Yeah. Captain. Come on, man.
The lion talking to that pagan Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And now that pagan Roman Empire has been back, and it's way more destructive than the first pagan Roman Empire, man. Because it has the technology, to be destructive. Because the devil, this is the thing too. Here it is, the devil boasts about all this technology, but the earth is in the worst place it's ever been.
Yeah.
He boasting high IQ. He boasting this technology. He boasting, what you call it, progressive.
Mm-hmm.
He boasting all these things, but people are sicker than they ever been. Family is more dysfunctional than they ever been. Violence and war is off the chain. So it's like he boasting his IQ and technology, but look at the results.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, like he boasts about like smartphones. Everybody dumbed down.
To land back your point, Squat, it was a teacher, the Edomite. She pretty much flipped out because the students, they kept using Chat GPT. They weren't learning from her, so she crashing out. Like she pretty much was she didn't curse them out, but she had lost it, Wow. She's like, stop using Chat GPT.
Yeah, man.
I can't take this anymore,
Yep. Showing you that the people are going to be useless. Yeah. They're going to all be replaced by AI.
They can justify that.
They can justify it. Yep. Yep.
Like it goes into Yahweh Shah rescuing the world. That's like a man going to save his wife or rescue his woman. She's taken, kidnapped. Like a man, he's going to go forth and go save his woman.
Yep.
Con. Go ahead, bro.
If I can too, when somebody like the last 7, it makes sense. You know how we talk about rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we gotta rest. So Esau is just putting that pressure on the earth all day, every day. For us, if we work 7 days a week every day, eventually your body is gonna give out. It's gonna crash, or do whatever. So if we know the earth is a living organism, like he's literally wearing the earth down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we say through the spirit, not to get graphic. It's like you just steadily plowing woman, like non-stop. You know, so you're not giving her body that time to arrest and to adapt to itself. You know.
And if I may say, that's why it's not in really Jake nature to be monogamous, because even if you have that libido, you don't be instinctively you don't want to go to the same woman, but it makes sense because you can't keep plowing the same earth. You got to switch your earths up, switch your planets up, man. Rotation.
Like Gad moved around.
Gad moved around, man.
A woman's box is an open wound, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, it has to rest.
It has to close back up. It has to heal, man. You know? All right.
This is going into the Earth circulatory system. It said the Earth circulatory system is a planetary heat engine governed by the interconnected atmospheric circulation and global atmospheric circulation patterns. It says it's driven by the sun. It redistributes trapped equatorial heat to the poles with the wind belts, massive oceanic currents, and large-scale atmospheric cells. And the sun, basically just a sun model of what I just said. How the sun basically it pushes out heat, right? And what the north and south poles does is cycles the air. So the Earth naturally cycles its own air, kind of like how we were talking about in a house. The HVAC system, it has a intake where it pulls the heat, it pulls the air in the house, and it goes through a system, and then it filters it out and shoots the whatever temperature you have your air in your house. So the Earth does that naturally, without vents and freon and all that stuff. So the Earth basically cycles its own air, i.e., it heats itself up when it needs to be heated up, and it cools itself off when it needs to be cooled off. And then when it's off, you have storms. So you have your hurricanes and your heat waves. When the Earth gets too cold, it's in a heat wave. When they get too hot, it sends water. It cools it off.
Well, I'm sorry. Can I say this right quick? Sorry. When you get too hot, what do? You sweat. Come on, man. Yeah, come on, man. I'm sorry, but I had to say it.
No.
You got us a point.
Just pretty much based on what the brother just said. The Earth is sick. Like the Earth is sick right now, man.
It's suffering from inflammation.
Yeah. It makes you think of, like, you got.
What's
that, bro?
It's running a fever. That's why it's like overly hot. You know,
get rid of Esau.
Trying to get rid of Esau. It's inflamed.
That's why Scripture said language. Language goes into weakening.
And it's reacting to Esau's kingdom within its existence. And that's why your body, I'm sore over here, you inflamed over here. Your body making the effort to get rid of the problem. The inflammation isn't the problem. The inflammation.
The Earth is young. The Earth is only 12,000 years old.
Yep.
The same way when like you get sick and you get a fever, Esau want to break the fever. The Earth heats itself up on purpose to kill off any impurities or it tries to. Then Esau will come with this cloud seed and try to cool it off. He's trying to break the fever on the Earth. It's like you kind of got me on.
Yeah, it's heavy. I'm listening. You got in tune with that article too.
I got some more for you.
Let's go.
It's the atmospheric circulation cell. It breaks it down into 3 parts. It said the globe is split in 6 main convergent cells. It says 3 per hemisphere that move hot air away from the equator and cold air from the poles. So in the middle of the Earth, that's the core. That's where it's hottest. Where it's hottest.
Yeah, like Central America.
Pulls that air and sends it to the north and south pole where it's cold.
Redistribution.
It distributes that cold air and sends it to the center of the Earth. It says these are the hardy cells, which near the tropics, and the ferro cells, which are in the mid latitudes, and the polar cells. So basically, the Earth divides itself into 3 parts. You got the poles, which are the coldest. Then you have the middle parts between the pole and the equator, which are like the balanced parts of the temperature. And then you have the hottest in the center. So the Earth cycles all that out on its own to keep the Earth at a cool temperature. Then it says the global ocean conveyor belt. So in fact, it uses the ocean as well. It said the global ocean conveyor belt. So what is the ocean conveying?
It must be conveying that the water temperature.
Because that's where a lot of your storms happen at.
Yeah.
Like the hurricanes, they build up, they build all that strength up in the oceans, and then it goes. Fuck Esau, he don't control shit. He might do it, but the Lord will have it go where it need to go. And then once it get done, what does that storm go back to? It go right back to the ocean. It build up more strength, and after a while, you see another one coming. So the earth has its own cycle of how it does everything. It says this is known as the thermo-Hawaiian circulation. This massive network of deep and surface currents acts as the ocean's bloodstream. So the ocean is like the bloodstream for the earth. It says it moves water and dissolved oxygen and the vital nutrients across the globe, heavily driven by the temperature and salinity differences. And this is the one that's gonna really get you. It says the major wind belts. It says driven by the rotation of the earth and the collision of the atmospheric cells. These all try to tell you the earth is slowing down or spinning faster. Well, the earth does that on its own. It'll speed up the rotation or to slow down the rotation based on whatever it needs. It regulates itself. Esau ain't doing shit to slow the earth down. The Lord has it with the earth. No, okay, I gotta speed up. Then it's okay, well, I gotta slow down, i.e., your blood pressure. It'll raise
I was
up,
thinking that.
and then it'll drop it down based on whatever your body needs.
You had a food intake happen, then your blood pressure rise, so it'll slowly slow down. Or your sugar increase, but then it'll slow down.
And then how Most High control their time too.
Yeah.
You know, because the earth rotation, you know, dealing with the days. You know, because they even went into that how the earth is spinning faster. The minute ain't even a minute, you know, anymore. So it's just so right now, like the earth got high blood pressure. I'm dealing with Esau.
Heart racing.
You know?
Yeah.
He got high blood pressure dealing with this. Yeah, dealing with this nigga, man.
I'm tired of this nigga.
Yeah, man.
Because the earth, the moon, the sun, all of them follows the Lord. What the Lord should say do. Esau can't control it. The nigga limited. To back you up, bro, it says the winds going into those wind belts. It says the wind, like the trade winds and western lies pushes the surface waters, which is the bloodstream for the earth. It says and it acts as like a primary engine for the earth's circulatory system. So like as the earth is pulsating, it's pushing the water. The water is the bloodstream throughout the earth. Because that's why you look at how deep some of the ocean is. Esau don't know how deep that ocean is. Because it moves water all around the earth. And Esau try to hop in there and tell you what the earth doing this and the earth doing that. Ultimately, this nigga don't know. Because like the poems they're getting into, the Lord is regulating all that. The Lord said, if the Lord don't come back, ain't nobody gonna be saved. He's gonna destroy the earth. He's gonna destroy everybody. That was it on that one, bro.
Okay, we go chapter Elder Kazak.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes and Apocrypha, chapter 11, verse 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
And that's Esau Edom. And the physician is Yahushai. That's why it says the son is going to come with healing in his wings, man. So he's going to restore us back to the whole homeland. All right. And he's going to restore the earth, man. And in turn, the inhabitants benefit while they're in slavery, but they're going to benefit.
Yeah, you'll see, like, you know, tokens of what the Lord is getting ready to do. For example, you know, Esau Edom will, you know, he'll film, you know, a so-called UFO, you know, it's in the form of an orb, dismantling a missile or dissipating a chemtrail. If they're here to destroy the earth, what don't make it technology, man.
They're here to destroy your ass.
Yeah. They're here to get rid of eat.
You're here to destroy the earth. No, you hold on the precept, bro? You can finish that off with that. We're going to get ready to end it off. Let's go, bro.
Go to the earth's respiratory system.
Yep.
Lock it again, bro. You got me on something.
It's all good. I see.
It said the Earth's respiratory system is a metaphor for the planet's interconnected biological and physical systems that exchange the gases, primarily the carbon dioxide and oxygen. So, you know how we breathe out carbon dioxide, the Earth takes that in through the trees, and then it breathes out oxygen, which is, the Lord made a cycle for that. It said this is called the atmosphere. Or this is part of within the atmosphere. It said this vast system balances out the climate and sustains life through two primary laws. It says the world's ocean is a lung and the global forests are lungs. Right? It said the ocean, which is the marine lung, It says the ocean is the largest active carbon sink of the planet, driving the massive natural gases exchange. It says the mechanism, microscopic marine plants, because there are plants at the bottom of the ocean as well.
Got the algae too.
Mm-hmm.
It says it's called the phytoplankton.
Yeah, phytoplankton. I meant to say plankton. Yeah. You remember SpongeBob?
Yeah,
Yeah, plankton.
plankton.
Yeah.
It says phytoplankton absorb vast amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis, which these organisms, when these organisms die, they sink to the deep ocean, effectively trapping the carbon dioxide. It says the oxygen output, and this is all in the ocean. This ain't even on the land.
Right.
They broke it down into three parts. It says in addition to sequestering carbon dioxide, marine plant life produces over half of the Earth's oxygen, and it produces over half of the oxygen into the Earth's atmosphere.
Yep.
If I make a point, but this damn devil, he has a lot of trash in the ocean, man.
Then he has microplastics in the ocean too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like in that movie, Aquaman, it shows you they do all that shit back. They do all that trash back on the shore.
But you got that nuclear waste.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Esau, that's how you test the military. That's how they test any explosives. Explosive nukes from bombs like Moabs, which is the mother of all bombs. They got all
It's crazy, man.
But that's how they shoot them. A lot of that happens in those bases that are on the coast, like Florida. I don't get into the names, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So a lot of those bases, they have them primarily right there because when they create a weapon, they shoot it off in the ocean, and they test based on. That's how they basically test on blast radiuses and all this stuff. But the second one is the terrestrial lawn, which is the rainforest and the boreal forest. It says forests and vegetation inhale and exhale on both primarily and seasonal rhythms. So even throughout the season, the earth can regulate how it regulates the temperatures and the heartbeats and how much you want to inhale and exhale throughout even within the seasons. It says this mechanism, trees and plants breathe by taking in carbon dioxide and water through their leaves to build plant tissue, releasing pure oxygen as a byproduct. It says the seasonal pulse. The Earth's breathing becomes visibly measurable in the northern hemisphere. During spring and summer, the explosion of new leaves acts as a massive inhale, drawing down global carbon dioxide levels. So in the summertime, like when these leaves pop out, like Earth just all that carbon dioxide that's been built up during the summertime, Earth just sucks all of it up. Like the Lord cold.
Yeah, he's cold, bro.
It says drawing down global carbon dioxide levels. It says in autumn and winter, the leaves shed and decay, and the cycle slows, and the atmospheric carbon dioxide rises. And here's the last part. It says the soil and its decomposers. So even the soil, how our body breaks down different stuff, the soil does that naturally on its own. It says just like biological respiration, just like biological respiration releases carbon dioxide in animals, the Earth's soil of its own exhales. It says soil bacteria, fungi, and detritivores consume dead organism matter and releases carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, completing the continuous planetary cycle of gas and exchange. So I was talking about the Lord got the vultures and everything like that. They come through and they eat up and clean up whatever's left. And then whatever they leave, the Lord got it to where the earth eats that on its own. So the soil itself will take that up. And then, the worms will poop out the fertilizer. And then they release their carbon dioxide. The plants and the trees take that from the soil. And then it shoots out more oxygen. So the Lord got it to where the earth operates on its own different level of everything.
It doesn't need Esau. And that was the point of the lesson. We got to close in scripture. We'll close it with this. Hey, yeah. Hell yeah.
I got to listen.
It's Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 1 of GNT. It says the foolishness of nature worship. Anyone who does not know the Most High is simply foolish. Such people look at the good things around them and still fail to see the living power. They have studied the things he made, but they have not recognized the one who made them.
Because we acknowledge that the earth is a living creature, but we acknowledge that that creature was created by Yahweh Bahashim outside. We don't worship the universe.
It says instead, they suppose that the gods who rule the world are fire or wind or storm or the circling stars or rushing water or the heavenly bodies. People were so delighted with the beauty of these things that they thought that they must be gods. But they should have realized that these things have a master and that he is much greater than all of them.
Just like old girl told Tony Montana when he was trying to get old boy. She's like, I don't fuck with the hell. So when you worshiping these trees and fire and wind and all this, you fucking with the hell worshiping.
Because men create systems.
Right.
Men are engineers and architects, and they create self-sustaining systems on this planet. Where do you think they got that from? That's an aspect of Yahweh Bahashim outside. Yahweh said, I was the architect by his side in Wisdom of Solomon, the 8th chapter. So you don't worship I'm sorry, what did I say? Proverbs 8 chapter Salat. You don't worship an engineer's design. You acknowledge like that's a great engineer. So same thing with the Most High's grand design. It was a great engineer.
Most part if I may, because in construction you have what they call a life cycle of building. So and if you look at it, you never touch a build. You can build it and it might be nice. But the earth on its own will be like, they don't need that no more.
Yeah, they're gonna take it over.
The earth start to take it all over and it will break. If it's made out of wood, it's gonna break it all back down. Any natural elements of that house, wood or anything, even the metals, it'll break out because the metals come natural too. So you just form it up, but the earth will come through and it'll break all that down. That's why you got rust. So if you let some rust long enough, eventually you just break it. Right. It turn into dust or powder, right? So, but that just shows how the earth can make that determination based on the program.
It's a conscious.
That the Lord gave.
It has a conscious. But
like certain apartment buildings or houses be shifting.
You know like the earth will literally start to take it over.
And that's happening heavily in Mississippi.
South Jackson.
Yeah, South Jackson for sure.
South Jackson.
Yeah, South Jackson through. But Ridgeland is shifting, and then Jackson is built off Mississippi clay, and that clay shifts. It's like what do you call it? Malleable. It's like it's not solid. That's why you always got sinkholes. You always got things like that because the clay is not solid.
It's because Esau trying to throw like a natural. It's not a natural thing, but they'll try to throw like a chemical. And I can't remember. I think it's called lime or something like that. But they're trying to turn that clay into something that is not. Like there's a certain type of natural soil clay that's used. The earth even like you don't need concrete. Like if you can move enough of it's called I think it's orange clay or I can't remember the exact. It's a type of clay that's an actual dirt that when the Lord has it where it gets wet, it gets real hard, and then ultimately it gets harder than concrete. So the Lord has His own natural foundations of how. You can literally take some soils and turn it into a foundation for a house. You can set a house on it. But the earth will turn around even then. When you're not using that house, the earth will make that clay break down and that house will sink in and the earth will start to take it over and naturally break it all down and distribute all the gases from that to the plants and they'll come back into oxygen. And basically the earth will start that cycle over.
The cycle, man. The earth is a spirit. It's a creature. All right, go ahead. We can close with that.
It says, people, Wisdom of Solomon 13:3, people were so delighted with the beauty of these things that they thought that they must be gods, but they should have realized that these things have a master. He is much greater than all of them, for he is the creator of beauty and he created them. Since people are amazed at the power of these things and how they behave, they ought to learn from them that their maker is far more powerful. When we realize how vast and beautiful the creation is, we are learning about the creator, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua at the same time.
That's right. And it just makes you magnify him more. Makes you marvel. If you're going to marvel at anything, you marvel at Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. But with that, we hope this was an edification. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakodash. We also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba Ba. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.